Hey everybody, I'm Lex.
I'm Jordan with PDQ.com.
Hey, it is Q&A today, and
I think we used to call it Stump the Chump, so we went and found the biggest chumps in the office, and Colby's here too.
wow, I represent that statement. Resent that statement. So again, it's you bring us your questions. We'll try and answer them, and I think we're going to try and keep track today. It's us against Colby, and if we don't pass the question to him, he doesn't get points.
He's never going to jump in on his own.
That's right. Boom. We're gonna own it today. So, first question.
Okay, are we ready? Everybody's starting out at 0, so here we go. Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, I currently sync PDQ with AD, but I do not want to lose the history of computers in PDQ when removed from AD. I import only with AD, but is there a way to move a computer out of an AD collection manually? Sincerely, Ed L.
So you want to change the source that it came from AD to add it manually?
So, okay, take it out of an AD collection. Boy, I think we're going to have to already pass this to Colby because I got nothing. Honestly, the only thing I could think you might be able to do is go and make an edit to the database, which is kind of scary to think about. Thoughts?
Well, I could be wrong here, but as a test, don't do this to an important computer. I think if you remove one and add it manually, it will keep the history when it re-adds based on the name. But let's go to Colby.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop talking. Colby.
I think we keep some history, like custom fields, but I don't think we keep most of the scan data.
I was going to say, if you delete it, it's going to...
So nothing that you want to keep. Well, that's bad.
Yeah, really, our products are not designed around retaining historical data. We're more around gathering the current state of computers. So there are certain things you can do, like setting up auto reports and saving those and stuff. But periodically auto report, save it as a CSV or an XML or Excel file, or even XML, I guess. But
all right, so a comment on there says correct to a collection for old computers. Even if you add it from AD, if you don't want it to be removed and you add to your AD scan that specific OU for old computers and move it down there, it's not going to delete. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what else is going to change outside of that. But I don't think you lose any data at that point.
Yeah, but if you delete it, your data is going to go with that.
So in that case, if you just come and you do include container and you point to whatever your old one is, anything you move in there should still be part of the scan. I think we're kind of swinging here. Yeah. No points.
No.
Drink.
No points for Colby either, unless you think he deserves points, Kelly.
Yep. Yeah, I'm giving him a point.
Oh, dang it.
Ha.
What happened to that not passing him? Oh, I did. I passed him.
Someone's got to win, guys.
Oh.
Since it's usually Colby,
me,
we're just
this is
assuming.
going to turn into a lot of drinking.
Yeah. All right, can we move on to the next one? Because I feel shame for that first one.
Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, aside from using a custom field for a purchase date, is there a way to determine the age of a PC for reports in inventory? Sincerely, Dougie Doug K.
I personally like carbon dating.
I imagine, I don't know exactly where, but there's going to be something in the WMI for the install date of the OS, maybe?
The issue with the install date is anytime you go from one build of Windows 10 to another, such as like 1809 to 1903, that count, it resets the install date. There might be stuff you can pull from the BIOS of the computer, but some manufacturers, they'll show up as like basically nothing.
Yeah.
One thing that you may be able to do is use the upcoming PowerShell scanner to query the warranty information, such as like Dell. Like if you get the serial number of a Dell computer, you can look it up online, and they have APIs you can pull for that information.
We actually have a tips and tricks, or user favorites, where we actually have a little PowerShell thing that will actually go pull a Dell warranty and then actually open the website.
Yeah.
So you can look up that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the date the computer had, but you could do the date you added it to Active Directory. You could probably pull that if you had the AD module on that machine with the upcoming PowerShell scanner.
Yeah. So
no great answer to that one.
It's kind of relative to what you're looking at, I guess.
Yeah, there's no great answer. Just you have to decide for yourself which one sucks the least.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Did anyone really get a point on that one?
We all danced around it.
I think by default, because Colby's better than us, we get the point if no one
What's
gets the
with
point.
Colby jumping in without us pointing to him?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to give everybody a point.
All right.
Because
We are in trouble.
yeah, Colby's still in the lead.
Dang it.
Which we may as well give no one a point at the same time.
Exactly.
No, I want my
But we-
participation
It's a
point.
glass half full thing.
We want them
I
to
get
feel
my
good about their
participation
effort.
points.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go next question.
Millennial.
All right, dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, is there a way to set default success codes within PDQ? Is there a way to know what codes are likely success codes? Thanks, Joshua C.
Look at that. This is one you got.
I think we can do this one. Prepare to mark a point for me.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say we keep on referring to it as we, but Kelly doesn't seem to be doing that.
All right. So I just opened a new package. I did an install step. Here are the default codes that automatically got populated. 0, which is successful. 641 and a 3010 basically are saying this installed, it needs a reboot, or before it takes effect, it needs a reboot. And my favorite, 2359302. No idea what that is.
That is a lot of numbers, though.
It is, and I'm surprised I could say it. But those are the defaults. To add to defaults, I don't know if there's a way to add to them, but all you've got to do when you need a new one, put a comma, and then the number you'd like to enter in there.
11D65.
11D65, which is another good one.
Yeah, so as far as with the installer, I'm not sure how to do that. If it's a PowerShell step or something, you can have it exit with whatever code you want. If you're looking for something unique for that one, I suppose.
Command steps.
Yeah.
We got a code 0 as the default. PowerShell step. Code 0 is the default. So those are the defaults. I don't know if we can add anything to those, but it's just easy enough. Put the comma and add your numbers there. I'm not passing it to
I wonder if
Colby
that's something with Orca. You could go. I don't know. I'm
stretching,
theorizing.
theorizing.
There is
Here it comes. It's going to steal the point.
there is no way for you to set the default success codes. Those are hard coded into the application. And as for the second part of your question, is there a way to know which codes are likely to be success codes? That's going to depend on what you're running. Most of the time it's 0, and then for like Windows updates it's 3010, and then I think that other longer one is like does not apply or something like that. But there are some applications like Intel has a scanner for their ME, the management engine thing, and I think 100 was a success code on that one. So basically you just have to Google it, consult the documentation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so Joshua C is saying that his defaults to codes are 0. I think that's step specific. Like when we did a command step or PowerShell step, it was 0. But for the package itself, there should be more than just 0. If it's not, that is definitely a bug, I believe.
Shall we continue?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Does that mean Lex and Colby are now tied?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, how do I add Microsoft Runtime prereq check install update to a deploy package such as VCR blah blah nerdx64 for VS or netnerd 47.1? Thanks, Chad B.
Wow, Chad. Thanks for making this real difficult today. Okay, prerequisite install update. Okay, anytime I look for prerequisites, right, I'm either looking for a file that exists or a registry entry or the software itself installed. You can do that in a collection. And those, all three of those, file, registry, or a collection, can be conditions to do an install. And that's pretty much for any. So VCRedist 64. Got to find the executable or the registry values for that.
I'm going to keep nodding like I know.
What he said? Colby?
Yeah.
Are you going to steal my point now?
Yep. One fun way you can do this is add steps to your package to install those, such as the Visual C redistributable, and then tie that to a collection condition, and point that at a collection that is like not installed. for that specific application.
So you just added details to what I already said.
Yeah.
I think this is a good time to bring up that when Colby started, I'm the one that brought him up to speed on how it works around here. So based on multi-level marketing,
You should
I
be
get a
getting
portion
points
of
every
all
time you
Colby's
do-
points.
I don't know if that's how it works, Jordan.
He's in your downline in your three-dimensional triangle of dreams.
That's right.
Three-dimensional triangle of success.
Okay. Our next question is from Fred R. Would that be Fred Rogers? Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers.
Hello, boys and girls. So, I'm working on upgrading over 600 Windows 10 computers using WSUS for feature upgrades. I can't do that.
That's
All right,
creepy, dude.
I
Knock that off.
have my ring set up, and so far in a week, I am 120 down and 500 to go. Are there any triggers that can be run to force that to run on the device with PDQ? Sincerely, Mr. Rogers.
Right, so with feature updates, unfortunately, they're going to go down and not check in time with anything within a single package. There's in the forums, Marcel wrote a document on how he got it to work for him. I don't know if Colby
Is that a
can-
command line or a PowerShell that you can call on the machine that'll actually kick that off?
Yes, you could. The AUCLT, I think you can
Yeah.
kick that off with command line. So I suppose you could do it based on heartbeat.
Okay.
Where when it comes back online, but I mean, even when it comes back online, it's still, if it's Windows, it's still Windows updates. The feature updates are something that we don't.
They're finicky.
Yeah, they're finicky. We don't have any official solution to that because we can't really guarantee the work. But Marcel did a lot of really good work with that.
And I will just say this, okay? A lot of the people I talk to try it, do it, and it seems to work for them. If they have issues,
We just don't stand behind it.
yeah, just the issues you'll run into is it says it failed, but it may have finished, it may not have, so they'll just shoot it out again and try and hit it again. But like anything you automate, let me just put this caveat out there, okay? You can do a lot of good really fast, you can do a lot of bad really fast. So if you're gonna do feature upgrades, if you decide to do that, do it in little chunks. Make sure to verify them. So
Was that a Jordan point?
I mean,
thought I stole it.
all I said was Marcel did it. I didn't really add anything new.
That's all right. You're still behind, but at least, it's getting respectable.
wow, okay.
That's what I get for
I'm gonna
remembering that
say
there's a
Marcel
forum
did
on
it.
it.
The next question.
That actually works a lot. It works a lot. Marcel does a lot of good for us.
Yeah. Shut up.
Dear Lex, Jordan, Colby, and Marcel, can you clear all retry queue entries for a system so if it is re-imaged, they don't kick in? Sincerely, Gene the Dancing Machine, C.
Gene the Dancing Machine. Let us go and do a retry queue. Let us deploy this to... Well, first I probably should set up my retry queue, right?
It's probably a good idea. So I guess while he's doing that, can Colby give it to us verbally before Lex can show it to steal the point?
Put offline targets in a retry. Okay.
I don't think there's a simple way to remove one target from multiple retry queues. We do have the global level retry queue, and you could look for it in there. The retry queue isn't something I've messed with much. Usually we recommend people use things like the heartbeat trigger.
Mm-hmm. But on this one, it sounds like after an image, he doesn't want what previously installed to go on there, or he does want to. So basically, after image,
Yeah, they want to be able to go in and remove a computer from all retry queues.
Okay, so I guess if we had... I've only got one machine offline. You could sort by computer name and then click the first one, shift, click the last one, and hit delete, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Again, I'm just going to add to what Colby was saying is there's a more eloquent way to do it, and that's using a heartbeat with inventory. So when the machine comes online, you hit it at that moment instead of just trying to force it out every hour. So I don't know. That's, sort it here, grab them all, delete them.
works for me.
Dear PDQ Duders, what are the most creative ways you've seen custom variables used? I've used them for version numbers, but not much else. Thanks, Andrew.
I think I'm going to get this one because I spend the most time with customers. Yes. Just mark that one for Lex before I even answer. I've seen I've seen people actually put commands in variables, and then they'll call the variables to run commands.
Okay.
I've seen that. I have seen obviously paths. I have seen what else?
So I've seen Chris use it where he will use SQL to modify based on how a certain package he's running is doing. So he modifies the update based on how the installer is going.
Yeah.
But that involves editing SQL, which I don't do.
Be careful.
Yeah, don't be very careful. As far as outside of that, I haven't seen anything too complex.
I've seen associating email addresses with machines. I've seen warranty information. These are not really weird. It's pretty standard. Expiration dates, departments, accounting, that kind of thing. But probably the neatest thing I saw was someone actually put a script in, and they altered the script per machine that was there. So it was a script for that machine specifically. So it's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. I guess take your point.
Yeah, just a little update on the points. Right now, Lex and Colby are tied with 4 each. Jordan, you've got 2.
I was about to do my victory
Seems about
lap
right.
there.
Half as good as Lex. That seems
Whoa,
that seems right.
Colby, how do you feel to be half as smart as me?
Yeah, he is as smart.
He's as smart.
As smart.
As smart.
I love it. I love it.
Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, I have remote users who access our network via a VPN from their home. Will deploy an inventory work in that environment? Thanks, Bill.
Hey, Bill, I can answer this because I've done a lot of research on this one, actually. So, okay. Yes, provided that you can open the ports across your VPN, which, if you control your VPN, most will do. You also have to make it so that your DHCP can assign, or that you're having your VPN register it with DNS. Okay, and then on top of that, you need to make sure on your console you're flushing your DNS fairly frequently because people jump on and off VPN.
Yeah.
And so you need to get that information fairly frequently. But yeah, you can do it.
I think it's a clear Lex point there.
Hey, I'm sorry, before we go on, who's in the lead?
We'll have to check in a little while.
It's math.
We just
I
checked.
don't know.
Oh, man, the one time in my life I'm in the lead, you're not
It's
even
like we're
going
the
to give
Iowa
it to me.
caucus over here.
That's right.
Results are
I'm the
trickling
winner.
in slowly.
I am the winner.
Don't get cocky, Lex. Still got
A
time.
lot of webcasts to go, buddy. Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, what happens if I rename a collection that is used as a condition filter in a package? Will the package condition filter still work? What happens if I have 2 collections with the same name used in a PDQ Inventory Collection? Condition? David B.
So a collection is going to use the collection ID over the name. So even if the name's the same, whatever the ID is not going to change. You should be fine there.
So again,
I just jumped in quick to steal that point.
Wow.
I know you're going to show it, but
what he said. Can I get a point for saying that?
What he
Marcel did it.
No.
oh, normally that works. It's done wonders for me.
Okay.
Yeah, usually tying everything together with collection ID works great. Where you have to be careful is if you try to copy and paste or import
Yes.
into another console, the IDs in that console won't be the same, and so it could tie to what you're not expecting.
Also, what he said, and Marcel did it.
Yeah. It looks like we all got a point.
Yeah.
No. Point to Jordan.
All right. I like this game.
They're biased. They're trying to make you win.
You know, next week
I
we're
wanna
going to
get
do the webcast where Colby
Can I
up
get a
here.
recount?
Colby has to pick up on social cues, and he gets a point every time he picks that up, and I'll be off camera. Chime in with social
Here's your recount, Lex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's done.
Yeah, but there's a hanging Chad, so we may have to look at that later.
A hanging Chad B. Here we go.
Okay.
Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, our PCs are named after phone extensions. Is there a simple report to write to see names with 1200 through 1234 only? Thanks, the lovely Kathleen F.
Absolutely. And that would be regular expressions. And it'd take me 15 minutes to figure it out right now because every time I do it, I've got to re-educate myself.
If we could just say regular expressions, I'll answer that every time. I'll get so many points.
Marcel did it with
Marcel.
regular expressions. Colby, you got I hope you don't have anything to add because I think that might be a point for
See
me.
the regex off the top of your head.
You can see all the escape characters flying away. I would like to take this opportunity to plug our community forum. This seems like a great place to ask that question. There's we can kind of go back and forth a little more. Kind of gives us time to work it out and test it and whatnot.
I'm giving Colby half a point for that.
What?
We're into the 0.5s now.
So, hey, check it out. I should get some more points for pulling up regular expressions in Google.
Is that our community forum right there?
It is. It's a
That-
Wikipedia.
Lex, you got the main point.
You could have had a point if
I
you had
still
gone
need
to
more points. Because we all know Colby's closing in on us.
Okay, so here's where we stand. Lex, believe it or not, you're in the lead, bro.
by half
We're
a
done.
point, half a
End the
point.
webcast now.
Lex
End
has
it now.
6 points. Colby has 4.5.
Oh, 4.5.
And Jordan has 3.
We still got a good 10 minutes or more.
No,
so.
seriously, there's no more content. We're calling it right now, so I can be a winner.
Good night, everybody.
Is that how you want to win, Lex?
Absolutely. Cheating has never bothered me.
And Kathleen says that's good enough on your answer, so you
Hey,
should have gotten
thank
the point.
Kathleen, yes.
There you go. Okay, here we go.
Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, is there any way to speed up connection time? It's taking up to 30 seconds on some. Sincerely, Tom.
Tom F. Hey, Tom. All right, I'm going to start with the most expensive and work our way down. Replace your network. Replace your computers. Oh, okay. I got... Go ahead,
So
Colby,
if
you
it's
got
on
something? He's
inventory,
just-
do you have ping before scanning enabled? Because if it sees it's
that's a
offline,
good
it will
point.
cut out some of the time. I don't know how much that will save you.
That's not the connection time now,
Yeah.
is it?
But if it's trying to connect an offline machine, if it's ping before, it might maybe.
So it would just step past it, not try to connect. So that would speed things up, but
Speed
not
things up,
necessarily
but
the
not
connection.
Yeah, not the connection time itself.
Check if there's Google Fiber in your area.
Oh, here it comes. Here comes the answer. Damn. All right.
So my recommendation for what you should try is to go to Options, Preferences, and then I think it's Network. Might be
Oh,
Performance.
Man, here it comes.
Check
Heartbeat? No,
performance.
performance maybe?
Yeah.
Default TCP manager?
Yep, so set that to disabled, especially if you're on Windows 10 1903 or later. There's a bug in that where it can, like, in my testing, it takes like 45 seconds to get past connecting when I have it at default. And when I set it to disabled, it makes it take like 10 seconds, I think. Now, one important thing with this setting is that actually changes how the service manager on your computer works. So this will affect all applications. So if you have something something else on this computer that relies on it, it could potentially cause issues. So just kind of be aware of that. And also reboot your computer after changing this setting. In my testing, it doesn't take effect until you reboot.
Okay, now I do have a question. Is there some caveats with that? I mean, if we're jumping multiple domains, if we're doing, I've heard through the grapevine that can cause a little grief.
It works on our multiple domains here. I don't know if it, if you get more complicated with forests and whatnot, if it can cause issues with that. Basically, just change it and
Test
try
it.
it for yourself.
Yeah, test it, guys. And if it doesn't work, put it back.
And if you're still having issues after changing that, right into support. We're trying to chase down some performance issues right now. So the more people we have chiming in on that, the better.
I was thinking that's a Lex for the steel.
Looks right down.
No, that's actually a 1.5 for Colby.
Point oh, tie
Whoa.
game. Tie game.
Yep, tied up.
When did this become arbitrary? I mean, I'm going to lose just because people are like, Lex should never win.
That's
It's
not
like
true.
design.
Listen, if we ever actually won this, everyone would know it was rigged. So
That's a
by
good
putting
point.
Colby back in the lead, we actually add some legitimacy.
Kathleen,
To our
people are onto
answers.
us. Thank you for that question.
If it makes you feel better, Lex, the winner receives absolutely nothing.
No,
so.
they get Mentos.
bragging rights,
Oh, they get
okay?
Mentos.
Bragging rights
Okay.
and a Mentos.
All right.
But Colby has the entire preferences as an object in his brain that he can just recall at any point.
That is a good point.
Well, you still have a chance.
Okay.
Here we go.
Dear Lex, Jordan, and Colby, any plans to work with Solarwinds Help Desk to be able to import PDQ data into the Help Desk system? I hate adding info by CSV. Sincerely, Anonymous.
Anonymous.
I don't think we have any plans to directly work with SolarWinds.
No,
For the point?
we don't. I will
For the
say
point.
this. Can I add and get some of the points here?
No.
If
Now,
you
go ahead.
write, here's the part that I'm surprised you didn't say. CSVs, you schedule them, you don't have to touch them, and if you write a decent PowerShell, I pulled the PowerShell. You can automate the import portion of that side too.
How would you do that in PowerShell?
I would call Jordan. That's how I would do it in PowerShell. Or Chris, or possibly even Colby.
Like I say, there's a lot better PowerShell than me in this building.
So there are ways to, to refine that and, hopefully be able to automate that a little more, see it, touch it less. So it's less painful.
All right.
I want a ruling on that point.
Jordan got it. Now, this is not so much a question, just a clarification from Chad B. Clarification for my runtime question. Those are prereqs to Bluebeam 2019 MSI deployment.
Bluebeam, that's Autodesk, isn't it?
No, Bluebeam, I believe, is a PDF editor.
Dang it. Well, I think Autodesk used it.
You're trying to salvage that point.
I am
Yeah.
really trying to sell that point. Desperate to win.
Lex, now you're just trying too hard, man.
Dang it. Hey, you know the efforts here, guys. I'm doing this. I'd say for you, but honestly, it's just for me.
It's still possible.
So the difference is if Colby wins, we'll never hear about it. If we win, we'll let Colby know about it
Every day. Probably every hour of every day. So,
That's what you get for having grace.
No points on that one.
Oh.
Dear PDQ fellers, is there a way to create a dynamic collection based on computer info display name? I want to create a deployment based on the user, not the PC. Thanks, Ed L.
display name, like right there, display name. That would be yes.
So the problem is the display name for the logged in user is only going to be as accurate as your last scan.
Exactly.
So there you run quite a lot of risk with that one. You're not necessarily going to get what you're thinking.
Okay, but for the point, let me show you how to do it.
Okay.
AD, distinguished name. Where is display name? Okay, maybe I'm not getting the point here.
Both of them are under current user.
Thank you. That's what I meant. Current user.
Current user display name and current username.
Colby for the steal.
I told you he has it as an object. He doesn't even
Yeah,
have to
current
look stuff
username.
up.
Or user display name right there. There's your collection.
Well, Mr. Rogers says that I win. That's my name.
Ooh.
How many points do I get for the support of Mr. Rogers?
We should get extra points for people chiming in saying, I vote for Lex. And we don't let them vote for anybody else.
All right, we'll do this.
We don't want this to be based on
Ju-
merits.
Vote in the chat who you think should be the crown the winner of this webcast: Colby, Lex, or Jordan.
Do I get to make
You
a
can vote.
statement like I'm
But-
in the Iowa caucuses?
But
I'm going to do away with hunger. I'm going to...
You're not going to win stealing my joke, that's for sure.
Ow.
Man, this is getting intense out there.
Yeah, I do like
Do
that.
you remember how I was telling you we were going to be friends?
Oh,
I hope you still be my friend.
Mr. Rogers has betrayed me.
Colby, come on, guys.
Hey,
really?
I just got a
He
vote.
doesn't need any help.
I think this is our final question. This might
final
sway the
vote.
voters.
Now, this is how
At
it
Colby.
was posed. Colby, with central server config, should Service Manager be changed on the PDQ server or PDQ client? Sincerely, Chad B.
Just the server.
Sir, both of us got that before Colby. I want you to know.
I actually read it from Colby in the chat.
So then technically, do I get the point since I technically answered it first?
We've already discovered that pyramid scheme doesn't work.
Time out here. I've got some supporters out there. Shh, my people. Thank you.
He literally called out Colby for that one.
Yeah.
So that's an auto point.
Colby's the best.
Just kidding. We can't allow that.
Fred, what up, dude? Ed, love you, man. Danny, woo, my guys, I'm calling y'all out. Scott,
This has been really bad. If I had
hey,
any
it's-
self-esteem left,
this is a shameless plug for points on my part. Guys, vote for me.
That's right. We don't
I
want,
promise I will tease both these guys all day,
we don't want to
every
be
day till
based
next
on
week.
merit. We want to be based on popularity.
No, we don't want
Right.
it based on popularity.
All right, so I'm glad you guys could tune in for Colby to answer all your questions.
Yeah, we made a good effort and deferred most everything to him anyways.
Yep.
So I'm Lex.
I'm Jordan.
We'll catch you all later.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Ed L. and David B., winners of PDQ swag. Please send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week.